So here, my name is Fernando, and I'm going to show you guys how to create an experiment. What are the procedures of an experiment? For example, I went outside and looked outside the pool, and I saw that the water on it gets hot. And I started wondering, and this is all based on my observation by going outside, and I've started observing the outside. So I observed, and I came up with a question. So my question is, how does the temperature of the water in the pool get hot or cold? Well, I won't find out until I create a hypothesis, okay? So the next thing will be a hypothesis, okay? So now I want to show you guys what is a hypothesis, okay? Well, a hypothesis is a prediction statement, okay? It's a guess, but the correct word is a prediction statement, okay? Well, now you're wondering, what is a prediction statement? Or what is a statement? Well, let's get to that. Statement. What is this a statement? Okay, so statement is a sentence. It is a sentence. A thesis summarizes the main point of an essay. A thesis makes a claim, and that essay backs up that claim. So, for example, claim: there are some great benefits in being a basketball player. What backs it up? Well, backs it up. They get paid for what they love doing. So this is an example of a statement, okay? A claim, and then backs it up. So let's go back here to what is a hypothesis? It is a prediction statement, okay? So you have to have two experimental variables, dependent and independent. Okay? Important things about your hypothesis: it must be measurable and testable in some way. So let's go back. Remember, it's got to have a dependent and independent. Very important. Okay, so the format that we are going to use is if-then. Your hypothesis has to be if-then. You see here that if, in my question, in my hypothesis says, if the water in the pool gets hot or cold, you see then, in the purple color there, if and then. So the water being my dependent variable, okay, and then it depends on the outside weather temperature, the outside weather temperature being my independent. Okay, let me explain to you why that's independent and independent variable. In this case, the water in the pool is our dependent variable, because that's what we are interested in. And then anything that may change the water temperature or behavior, I will say temperature, then that will be our independent variable. In this case, the outside weather temperature is our independent variable. Okay? Let's go back to our observation, our scientific method. So observation, hypothesis, and experiment. Okay, so data analysis, experiment. So I'm gonna create my data analysis, or a data. This is what a data will look like. So you noticed I wrote down 10 a.m. and that's the hours, the pool water temperature, and the outside temperature. And every hour I wrote down what the temperature was in the pool water and what the temperature was outside, okay, weather. So there you see at 10 a.m. was 67 in the pool and the outside was 79. And you look, I went all the way to 6 p.m. and I noticed it was increased when the pool water temperature got hotter, because the outside temperature got hotter too. It raised. Raised. So, and then you write down how you your procedures to your experiment. So I wrote down first take the outside temperature with the thermometer. You write down what you did, so in case it needs to be redone, you have the exact procedures of your experiment. That's why it's called experiment procedures. So I wrote down exactly what I did first, the materials I used, and what was the things I needed. Okay? So I'm just gonna go back real quick to show you my hypothesis, because it's important that you know that hypothesis and conclusion are gonna be one of your main targets. So my hypothesis is if the water in the pool gets hot or cold, then it depends on the outside weather temperature. So now we have a final conclusion for your experiment. In other words, what happened? Was your hypothesis right or wrong? Well, I put my hypothesis was right because the temperature on the outside did affect the pool water. In the morning, as you guys can see on my data over here, so I explained to him what happened and how did it affect it and how did it relate to my hypothesis. Okay? And I related to it because my hypothesis was if the water in the pool gets hot or cold, then it depends on the outside weather temperature. Well, is that true or false? Well, my data shows me that it's true. It's true because I can see the water getting hotter as the outside temperature got hotter. So my conclusion is correct. My hypothesis was right because the temperature on the outside did affect the pool water temperature. Like in the morning at 10 a.m. o'clock, it started at 67, and I explained to them how. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of read through my conclusion. So the temperature went up to 88. My data shows that every time the temperature outside got higher, the pool also got hotter. And every time the temperature got lower, the pool temperature also got lower or dropped. So my conclusion is that the temperature of the pool depended on the temperature of the outside weather temperature and how hot or cold the pool will get. So here you go, guys. A little bit of how to create a scientific experiment step by step. You have any questions, comments, let me know. You can comment on my YouTube page and then I will see what I can do for you guys. But remember, you have to have a dependent and independent variable for a hypothesis. You guys need to understand that. I will explain to you guys again. In dependent being my water, okay, is the dependent variable. In this case, the water in the pool is our dependent variable because that's what we are focused on. That's what we are interested in, okay, which that will not change. And then anything that may change the water temperature, then that could be our independent variable. In this case, the outside weather temperature is our independent variable because that does change. So, thanks for watching. This is Fernando. Please subscribe and like. I work very hard for this to be published and to put it on YouTube. So please like. Thank you very much.